Alright, back for episode 7 now. Had to double check that one. So we're back for double check that one. So back for episode 7, and first of all, welcome to the Ignorant Peasants. Salute. Cheers. Cheers to you. So there's been a lot of weird changes. A lot of weird things getting discussed. A lot of weird stuff getting passed and doing now. Starting with this fucking straw ban. Pissed me off. And I didn't realize it. I went to lunch, I think it was a week ago, to that barbecue place I was telling you about. So I remember I got ribs, I got my mac and cheese, and I got Coke, and I go to get a straw, and I literally just went bam, bam. You know, like when you double tap with a straw and it comes out? I went, and it broke, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I undo it, and it fell apart. Everything just, it literally turned to confetti. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I go and grab another one, undo it, and I realized that's when I realized, oh, this is a paper straw. Oh, this is garbage that they just served to me. Cool. Fuck this. I'm not using a straw.
So when you were... Oh, you didn't use it at all?
I didn't use it at all.
Oh, okay, because I was going to ask, when you start drinking it, are you getting, pulp from the fucking paper?
I would assume so. I feel like at one point when that straw starts to deteriorate, you're going to start drinking paper now.
Don't they have to coat the paper in plastic anyway? In order to get it to work like that? Because wouldn't it just disintegrate like that?
You would think. I would assume they would coat it with the same thing they do paper cups.
Yeah, something. And it all started from this little, 5th grader they said? A 5th grader who was doing a project that he pulled this 50 million straws are used on a day, every day in the United States. That he surveyed a couple of straw manufacturers, and that's what the number that he got. It's not even true. It's not even an actual figure. This number is getting pulled from a 5th grader. But that's what we're going with now. And Seattle passed a law. Was the first one. Starbucks is going to be getting rid of what's it called? Straws?
I saw it today. Somebody came into work and she had her Starbucks cup and it had the lid. She looked tired as shit. She just got off work, and I was like, hey, I get it. Need your coffee. She had her kids running around. She looked like she was about to pull her fucking sandal off and smack one of them. But
did she have a straw in it or no?
No, dude. It was a sippy cup. Yeah, it was a sippy cup.
And I read somewhere that plastic. So there's 2 types of plastic that are mainly used in the U.S. right now. It's type 2 and type 5. Type 2 is the one that you find in straws.
That's not recyclable, right?
That is recyclable. That a majority of the plastic that we have in the U.S. gets sent off to China to get recycled. And for these lids, is type 5, which is not recyclable. So they went from a recyclable plastic to using more of a non-recyclable plastic. Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I never know about the plastic numbers or anything like that.
I don't know either, but it's just something I read it because I'm like, is all of this inconvenience really, for something? Or is it just more bullshit that we're trying to push on one another?
Probably more bullshit we're trying to push on one another. You got to think. It's a business. They're probably aiming just to have to source and purchase one product rather than 2. Because you have to get the lid and the straw.
Right.
That's more money.
Right.
Whereas if the lid, yes, it's more plastic. Sure, it's more ingredient to make the product, but costs less. Why not go that route?
That wasn't even the cost, because now the cost for a straw has gone up from, it said it was half a penny or 0.05. The figure that they gave, it's 8 times more expensive to have a paper or bamboo straw than the plastic ones. So who's that going to take that cost? The consumer. Yeah. So I guess it comes down to what cost is it okay for with you saving the planet. And this whole like there was another discussion about that. It was like there's a island in the Pacific that's literally just plastic. It's just plastic. And it's bullshit.
Google Maps, where you at?
Yeah, exactly. Julian Assange, WikiLeaks. Let me see that shit.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, see if you can find it. There's nothing. There's no real plastic island.
I feel like that'd be cool and disgusting all at the same time.
If you could stand on it, that'd be substantial. I'd be like, all right, yeah, there's definitely something wrong. But I feel like, even the statistics that was showing that the U.S., based off all pollution that's in the ocean right now, plastics, the U.S. counts for 1%. And that percent, the tiniest amount, is straws. I just think it's...
I feel like most of it's like water bottles.
Water bottles, yeah, it makes sense.
And
like sheet plastic, I feel like,
those fucking the rings.
Nah, I feel like that was bullshit too.
Yeah.
Because that was back in the 90s when they said they had to cut the...
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember we lived in the fucking desert and we had to do that shit.
The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a collection of plastic floating trash halfway between Hawaii and California.
Let me see it.
It's
Is there a picture of it?
Hold on one second. Winds and converging ocean currents funnel the garbage into a central location.
It checks out. There are currents that meet out that way. But
It's
I feel
not
like
a solid mass of plastic. It's about 1.8 trillion pieces and weighs 88,000 tons.
I feel like a lot of that came from the tsunami that hit Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we were getting shit on our shores.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a general mapping of where it is.
It's the size of Texas. What does it say? It's twice the size of Texas.
How come you can't see it when
If
you
it's
fly
twice
over
the size of Texas, why the fuck when we fly over to Hawaii, you don't see that shit? Twice the size of Texas. You're telling me if that was the case,
That's
shipping
huge.
would get fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a lot of landmass.
Yeah.
That's fucking
surface
bullshit.
Area, surface area. You can't say landmass.
But they're saying 88,000 tons, or what did they say? 8,800?
88,000.
88,000 tons. I don't know about that. I call bullshit.
Looks photoshopped.
Yeah, it looks just like a bunch of garbage. But you ever seen like in Haiti, the water? Where like their boating goes out to? It's full of garbage.
Yeah.
Completely full of garbage.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see it from space?
Bullshit. But it's just like shit, more bullshit, like pressure we have to put on the public for no fucking reason.
Oh, dude, that's been the theme of the year.
Yeah, it's true.
We were talking about fucking pedophilia.
Yeah,
And like how that's getting pushed now.
yeah,
How like that's trying to become normalized, that it's okay to be attracted to children, which is such a gross and horrific thing if that actually does become normalized.
Yeah. And I thought when you brought it up to me, I'm glad that someone else brought it up, because from what I was reading and I was watching on YouTube and shit, I was just like, man, is this really why what I'm reading into is just like, it's getting read into too much. Like maybe it's just what I've been searching lately is this is what's coming up. But no, it's not. It's like it's really they had a TED talk on it.
Yeah.
That girl was saying that it's like the same thing as a sexual preference now.
Yep.
How the...
That they're saying
Where does that stop? That's my question.
exactly, but it's just normalizing. Okay, I got a theory on that though, and I'm about to go deep.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So there has been like a massive conspiracy that pedophilia has been around, and it's in like celebrity, like in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, with Kevin Spacey, that there's this Cato, what's his name? The guy that was with OJ when he fucking murdered that woman. Like whenever all of these actors, when they were child actors, will confirm that, like, yeah, I was molested when I was a child actor. I was whatever, taken advantage of, and I think it's so pressing in like Hollywood culture that it's trying to get normalized. Like, no, it's okay, because even think about like the director or one of the writers for what's it called, Rick and Morty.
Uh-huh.
How he put out that video of him like it was a baby doll, that he was fucking a baby doll.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And that got out of another video of his own child, his own baby, there is in the car seat next to him, and like, what if you're the victim of molestation and you're getting molested by a baby? And they do like a video, it shows like the baby grabbing the dad's, like, you know, crotch.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
So, you know, there was, like, conspiracies going around, because you guys are aware of Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
His suicide.
Yeah.
What was it? That's only like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
There were people saying that he was going to release an investigative article about child sex trafficking.
Really?
Within celebrity circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that apparently Hillary Clinton was part of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's why he committed suicide.
Oh, yeah.
So, dude, it, like, you got to think, like, so Christianity is very, very prominent,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Vatican, so the smallest country in the world, which is also one of the richest countries in the world,
Mm-hmm.
the age of consent in the Vatican is only 12 years old.
That's what I was getting to, is like, where does it stop? Like, even if you take out the whole, like, molestation, and, you know, at the end of the day, all that is illegal.
Yeah.
But if you're going to normalize pedophilia, do you take away the legal age of consent? Like, do you, like,
Well,
how
yeah,
does that...
but how does it... You're a child. How does a child consent? Like, well, they're saying... People are saying that it's not their fault, that it's... That's their sexual preference. They can't help it. Yeah, but neither can a fucking kid.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just... It's fucking insane. They're trying to add it. They're trying to add it to the LGBTQ, you know, whatever.
Yeah, well, you know, with like with most child molests, like the children are severely mentally and emotionally damaged for a good amount of their life. No matter how much therapy they go through, like it's hard for them to register emotional and, you know, even sexual kind of relationships to a point where it's healthy.
Yeah.
So
it's just
if we try to normalize that, we are not looking out for the well-being of the next generation.
No. And like we got into that, I think a couple episodes, or maybe last episode, I don't remember, about like the gender neutral bathrooms, or, you know, if you identify as a woman, you can go into the men's room or whatever it is. Like that's I like giving an option. Like, you know, don't force a population to believe in something that's, in my opinion, that is
it's opinionated.
Exactly.
You know, it's not like, feel free to believe whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It should not be pushed onto somebody in order to also feel that way. Like, I don't have any like ill content with somebody being gay or whatever, but, you know, I have lots of gay friends. But hey, don't hit on me.
That there was, and there where was it? That they were saying that it's a crime. It's almost they're trying to make it a crime that, let's say, I was a trans woman, or I was a man who transitioned to a woman. Okay, but for you, if you were to say no, I don't want to be in a relationship with you because of that's considered a hate crime.
Really?
Yeah, that you have to accept it. Like,
how is their preference? That's weird. Because it's their preference to change, you know, they want to be a woman. That's who they're identifying.
So,
if my preference is that I don't want to date that.
If you don't want to date it, that makes you a homophobe, for one, or transphobe, and two, a hate crime.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that you know, that almost leads into like body shaming and that being a hate crime. You know, like,
exactly.
You know, if I don't want to be with a plus size woman, is that a hate crime?
Preference.
You know? But, you know, like, granted, it's not always their choice that, you know, genetics plays a part in that,
Yeah.
right? But, you know, there are choices that are made that in order to live that sort of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, in essence, that would be a hate crime then, right?
Yeah. With that same rationality, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's insane to, well, I guess not insane, but
The justification that because you don't like X means you're a body shamer, transphobe, homophobe, racist, whatever it may be. It's ridiculous. And it's like that PC culture that is so, is so heavy right now. I just don't get it.
and, you know, I'm not saying, like, don't go out there and be happy, like,
Exactly, yeah.
don't make those like, telling you not to go make those changes. It's just allow people to ease into it,
Mm-hmm.
not force the square peg in the round hole.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, where it's you are doing everything in your power where you're pulling out a chisel in order to make it be
Yeah.
a round peg now. Like, we're forcing society to conform to an idea that you just have, like, I do believe we should be accepting and open to ideas,
Mm.
but we have to draw a line,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, because, like, the LGBT community, at least from what I've read, they are not for the
No, they're not.
pedophilia
Yeah.
being.
Because that's a whole different category. That's not applicable. I mean, LGBT, that's preference. You're an adult. You make your own choices.
But-
like, you're happy. Like, that's a child. A child is
Yeah.
not even physically developed enough, as far
Mentally.
as sex characteristics or mentally, to make those kind of decisions.
But then you go back into this whole, well, I'm a woman today. Like there's an interview where I think it was on what is it called? Was it public radio? Radio Lab, where the guy is giving, at that point don't know, is giving an interview. It's I'm a man now, talking, going through the interview. All right, I just switched to a woman now. That you're trans fluid, that you can go back from sex to sex. And like in Canada, it is a crime to misgender someone, misidentify their gender. It's not an impossible thing that like couldn't get pushed here. You know what I mean? With all of this shit, fucking straws getting banned to push that next. You know what I mean? Like with at least the track record that we've been going at least, which is crazy, man. It's just, I agree. If you want to be happy, be happy. Don't put on your idea on anybody else. Don't expect someone to, assimilate to what you believe in. They have the freedom too, just like you have the freedom. And to me, you don't have not anyone has the freedom to stop. What's it called? Anyone from being happy. Now there are laws and boundaries set up for a reason.
Yeah.
So like pedophilia, no fucking way.
I would never want to live in a world where it was okay for some older
No.
gentleman to be like looking at if I had a kid, like my
Yeah,
child.
Exactly. No way. No, that's nuts. So no, that one is that's an easy slam dunk no. And if it ever comes to it, I feel like that's gonna be a spark of some type of major action. Like the majority, that's a universally understood no. You know what I mean? So if this ever gets pushed,
I wouldn't say universal.
really, you'd think some people would be like, you know what? All right, they make a point. Someone would be able to be swayed into that.
I would think in the United States, yeah. Like
Really?
Well, no. Sorry, like I think in the United States, like, yes, that is a universal mentality that that's not okay,
Yeah.
right? But in terms of on a worldwide basis,
Well, yeah, there's a lot of countries that practice that. You can get married off at any fucking age.
it's generally like at least 12.
Really.
Just as a bare minimum, because 12 is a childbearing age for girls.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
Somebody brought up a really good. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
like that's why the age of consent is so low in some countries.
Yeah.
Because it's childbearing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that goes back to, you know, ancient times where, you know, BCE and
Yeah.
all of that, where, you know, the lifespan was so much shorter back then too,
Right.
where it was what you were an elder if you made it to 40,
Right.
right? Whereas now that's
Yeah.
middle age.
Yeah.
So
Somebody gave me a really crazy argument, and it was at work, and his name's Jordan. He made a good argument, or not an argument, but it was like, well, you know, here he says that, well, in Japan they have what's it called, hentai.
Yeah.
That he goes, if you look at the statistics in Japan, isn't it not? It's not statutory. Isn't it statutory? Is that what it's called? Pedophilia is much lower because of that. But to me, it's like it's child pornography, hentai. So like cartoon
yeah.
porn of children and someone who's older. And it's like, well, that's something that they need to do here. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I still don't think that's okay. That would lower the whole statistic.
Yeah, but then that also feeds into the whole idea.
Exactly, yeah.
You
That
know,
feeds into it.
Because it's like, because in that TED Talk she was saying like, they can't change what they're attracted to,
Right.
but it's their choice on how they act on it, right?
Yeah.
And as responsible adults, don't.
Yeah.
And you know that's where, because they're just trying to draw the line, like the distance between pedophilia and molestation.
It's the same though. There's no difference.
Yeah.
It's the same. Like action is action. You're
So-
a pedophile when there's an action that's committed.
So, what, like, just hypothetically speaking,
Uh-huh.
because a 16-year-old girl,
Okay.
that'd be considered statutory or molest,
Okay.
you know, whatever. But in the eyes, like, that would be pedophilia, which, dude, I still don't agree with.
At 16?
It's 16, right?
Okay.
If you're greater than
If you were what? 18?
legally, it's 18.
Yeah, legally it's 18, but like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
So if you're an 18-year-old with another 16-year-old,
well, within the bounds of the law, like, that is still okay as long as they have consent from their parents. Right? I believe you get a 3-year
I don't know about
like
I
grace
think it's
period.
3 years, and then I think if like it's 19 and 16, if they were together before that person,
really?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's weird, like
There's a
secondary.
yeah there's
stuff.
a gray area with
Gotcha.
all of that, you know. But like you do have to have parents' consent for the minor.
Yeah.
You know, for the relationship to continue. When I was in high school,
Mm.
my old principal, he had gotten fired because he got fired because he knew about 2 students
Mm-hmm.
that were together, and one was 18, one was 17, but the 17-year-old's parents were okay with it,
Mm-hmm.
but the 18-year-old, like,
Parents weren't.
yeah, so
He's an adult though,
yeah, but
or she's an adult.
they caused a big ruckus, and ultimately got him fired because he knew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that at that point, you know, when you're 18, you're an adult. I mean, you could even get, you know, in the court of law, get tried as an adult way before 18.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it does depend on the action that you have. So,
Well, you could technically, that could happen when you're,
is it like 13?
well, if even if they were both minors,
Mm-hmm.
so
That's still
so if the girl in that relationship, her parents wanted to press charges against the boy.
Mm-hmm.
They have every right to. Now, I might just be talking out of my ass, but I don't think it works the other way around.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like taking that case by case. What are the circumstances for 1 and 2? Like, as an 18-year-old, you're an adult. Your parents have no say.
Yeah,
And that's also like just a couple years age difference too. Like if you think about it, that's really not that big a deal.
But I feel like that same argument, though, can be applied to pedophilia. It's just a couple of years. 15-year-old and a 13-year-old. I'm sorry, 15-year-old and a 30-year-old.
Are you about to turn 27?
That's not a couple of years though.
You're
Like
2 years older than
3
her.
or 4 years.
Right, but we got together when I was way older.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You know, it's like I dated a 15-year-old when I was 18. I
Okay.
mean, we started dating when I was 17.
Your parents
but
were
it's
aware
just
of it?
like, my parents were aware of it.
You knew each other before.
Yeah, and it's just like we started dating when I was 17, but then like I was 18, I was an adult, and he was still 15. I'm recently gonna turn 16, but
Yeah.
it was like it's a couple of years. Like that's
Yeah.
not really, especially like as you both grow and you're both in the same sort of setting, like you're both school age.
No, yeah,
like,
exactly.
you're both.
To me, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm trying to see it like how both sides can play it. So I totally think it's fine. Like if like the parents are aware of it. I don't know, but
I think 3 years is an actual legal
yeah,
allotment, if
yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
that makes sense. If that's true, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you grew up with this person in school, you developed a relationship. That's like completely stopping at high school sweethearts, right at the end of high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because you got to think like it would be like a senior getting with a freshman.
That's always weird though in high school culture though.
It is, but
That was me in college. I was a freshman with a senior. But it's to make it a widespread thing and to make it a universal, it's okay if this happens. You know what? No, it's a preference. No. It's completely absurd. With a grown-ass adult well into their age taking advantage of a child. No. That's ridiculous.
yeah, dude, I think there are definite bounds to on what we need to stipulate.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think it's right for somebody to be looking at minors in that way.
Yeah. Now, changing.
What if you're in that even more of a gray area though, where it's like 25 and 18
No, you're 18. You're an adult.
or 17, whatever. 25
Yeah, that's
and
creepy.
17.
Yeah,
That's creepy. You're a grown-ass adult. That's a child still. In the law's eyes, that's a child still.
Like I would never.
No way.
Like that'd be like me going and looking at the high schools.
Yeah, there's memes based on that. That starter pack. What is it? She's gonna be 18 in 6 months. Starter pack. When you got
no.
that thin fucking cut.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. No, it's too much. Too much weird shit. What's one that just came up, and it's only because I just thought about it. These 3D printed guns. That they just passed legislation that it's okay now. That it's okay to do it.
Well, they've been fighting that for years now.
Mm-hmm. Since 3D printing came around.
Yeah. Well, they were just able. It just became okay for
To
them
share
to
the files.
yes.
That's what
yeah,
it was.
they had always had it.
Yeah.
And never got rid of them because of their Second Amendment right.
Right.
And it had to go all the way to the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah.
In order to fight that, which good for them.
Do you think they should be able to do it?
Yeah.
3D printed gun?
Fuck yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it more.
I feel like you should definitely have to pass background checking in order to get the file.
Yeah, okay.
Be like purchasing a gun.
How do you track what guns are made though? I mean, once you have the file, you can make as many as you want.
That's what they're saying too. Yeah. So to me, it should not change in my opinion. Like, yeah, you want to share the file? Fine. You're a gun manufacturer now. You have to abide by federal regulation.
Yeah. Serial number, everything.
It's a firearm. It has a firing pin. It has a receiver. It's a weapon.
Yeah, but And that's what I'm saying. Like background checks on,
Yeah.
you know, obtaining the file,
Right.
because that's like purchasing a gun,
Yeah.
right? You know, and it's a very valid point. Like, oh, they could just manufacture as many as they want,
Yeah.
but you know, it's only being able to manufacture a lower.
No, because they've even gone into uppers.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you can produce a 3D printed barrel.
Yeah. Not the. I don't know about the barrel.
Because I still feel like a 3D printed barrel will be able to withhold the. Sorry.
I remember with the. I know what you're talking about. I remember when they first started this though. It was like a Liberator. It was what it was called.
Yeah.
And it was like a little box with the shortest barrel, like a snub nose barrel, and it was they literally had to tie a rubber band around it for the hammer to strike the pin on the. It was like a 9mm, but it was a one-shot gun. It was just bang. That's it. And a lot of the times,
Wasn't it 9?
Yeah.
I feel like it was smaller.
No, it was a 9mm.
Oh wow.
And it was a 9mm, and every time they did it, boom, it exploded. You know, but it would fire, but it's done after that. It's toast. So what I think it should be regulated in my eyes. If I had rule of the land, it would be if you have this file, you have to and you're producing, you have to abide by federal regulation. Every gun that you manufacture from there on out has to be registered. You should not be able to create it. What they're calling it is a ghost gun. There's this lawmaker that has 2 pictures of an AR that was 3D printed. That he's like, in a theater near you, in a theater near you, in a school near you, in a shopping mall near you, you're going to start to see these. And it's like, if you genuinely believe, first of all, the type of technology that's into 3D printing right now, there's no damn way you're going to be a weapon like that is going to be able to withstand shot after shot after shot after shot.
No.
No fucking way. Why? Because the weapons that are designed to shoot like that can't even withstand that. You've seen the meltdowns of AKs, or the meltdowns of, I have at least, meltdowns of these weapons. It's there's at a point where they just don't work. There's no fucking way that a plastic manufactured weapon will be able to withstand fire after fire. After fire.
It's at rapid release. It's gonna melt.
It's a lot of force.
It's a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And especially when you get up to the higher calibers, where it's
hell yeah,
so much expulsion.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
there's a lot that goes into a manufacturing of a weapon, and to think that plastic would be able to withstand it, no damn way. But with that file, yeah, if you want to print it, go for it. If you want to change the manufacturing of it, go for it. The moment you make a lower, that's a weapon. Register it. 10-day waiting period if you want to sell it. That's how it is. If you have the file, cool, that's great. The moment you make one and you're caught with one, it's felony. It's like possessing a sawed-off shotgun. Weapon of mass destruction. Why? Because nobody knew you had it. Or the same thing a convict would get for it, or a felony. A felon would get if they had a weapon. Possession of an unlicensed weapon. What do you think?
Yeah, like, it's within our bounds to own and possess guns, right?
Maybe that's why the plastic's going for the straws. That's how you do it.
I'm just scared I'm going to lose an eye while you're doing it.
Nope, because I know how to do it without cutting myself.
Okay. I was shit-faced that night. So.
Another episode, we're going to talk about this?
Hey, man, you brought it up.
No, that's too much weird shit going on.
Fuck, man.
Too much. What do you think? Any other weird news that you've heard lately?
I'm stuck on the whole 3D printing of firearms thing, though. It's just like, I just feel like that's so hard to regulate. Like, actual gun manufacturers are like large businesses with equipment, and you can keep track of it. It's like, how many 3D printers are out there? Or it's like you have to, pass a background check to get the file. Like, there's so much that could be printed that could fly under the radar before you realize, like, something's going wrong. That's my thing. It's just like...
So what do you mean, like, before something goes wrong? Like, a shooting?
Well, yeah, before they get caught, if they are gonna do something illegal. Like, so many people could 3D print, but it's just like, I don't know how you keep track of what gets printed or doesn't. I don't know.
CIA.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at that point,
Big
like,
Brother.
anything's trackable.
Yeah, Big Brother.
I've heard.
You don't think they have tagged a Trojan to it?
Oh, hell yes. You kidding me? Hell yes. There's been a huge conspiracy that Facebook, from what I've heard, that there's a class action lawsuit going on right now that Facebook has tracked, what's it called? Phone messages? No, phone calls made and kept a text log of what you had.
Dude, why do you think they ask for fucking access to that every time you install the app? Like, they ask for access to
Microphone?
your camera, your photos, microphone, phone calls, text, all of it.
That's too much. Man.
And in order to be able to use the app, you have to allow it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. George Orwell just got the year wrong.
It's true.
Like, the thought police aren't actual people. It's the things we keep in our pockets.
Yeah.
Like, that whole idea fucking just terrifies the shit out of me.
What do you think about that? You think it's real? You don't think it's real?
I don't know. I'm sure to some extent. What they do with the data, though.
How many times, I know we've talked about this, I feel like we have talked about this before. I don't know if it was on the podcast or just in conversation. You'll be talking about something. Ads on it.
Yeah.
Ads, whatever the fuck you were talking about. Amazon, Facebook, or just on the internet. Talking about cats, I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want kitty litter or cat toys. What the fuck is this going on? But for some reason, hey, I remember talking about this. Now I'm getting ads on it.
Sure. I feel like Apple's really bad.
You think so?
Yeah, dude, because that it happens to me occasionally.
Yeah.
But not all the time. Whereas it sounds like it happens to you more often than not.
Do you feel like it happens quite a bit?
Not really. I mean, I know, like, if I start getting ads, I've already searched something.
Yeah, you've already looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just I've been talking about something and all of a sudden ads will pop up. I feel like that rarely happens.
I don't know. It freaks me out every time I see it. I was like, shit, man. It's true, and it's only out of, like, voice conversations I've ever had with somebody. Never on, like, I've been searching that, I feel like. Don't know. Did we talk about, I think last time we talked about, like, maybe it was at work I was talking about it. Like, how technology is going to take over certain industries, and they're saying, like, restaurant industries.
Yeah,
We talked about that, huh?
You were talking
Yeah.
about it, yeah.
So if you could hack, your phone, you hacked that McDonald's that was in, what was it, fucking Nebraska or somewhere? Arizona. Just start, hey, you know what, cook that burger a little bit pink today. A little bit more pink. A little bit more pink. Just, what's it called? Anybody could do it. And just start poisoning a whole population.
E. coli?
E. coli, man. Everybody's got the shits. Could you imagine? If we get to that point, like if this automation, how would you say it? Automated, that's the one. This automated system that we're getting to. Everything's Bluetooth, everything's synced up to this, that everything just starts turning on you. Terminator shit. Your Tesla's flying down the freeway.
What? When does Skynet go live, dude?
Skynet's going live.
We were talking about this at work too, like
Really?
how the advancement of technology. I was sharing my headphones and like, you were like, oh, did you pause that? I was like, no, you took your headphone out. Like technology is getting to the point where it even senses our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, you took your headphone out. Like it pauses automatically.
And the new ones that they're coming out with, they're supposed to sync it up. You know how like your Apple Watch will tell like your heart rate. It'll tell you like there was a girl who like it saved her life, quote unquote, that she had like some heart problem and it saved her life because it said that literally came up on the watch. You need to go to the hospital. So they're doing that with the AirPods, that it's sensing it'll be able to sense your body temperature, your heart rate, and all kinds of other shit from your ear.
Creepy.
Isn't it? It's like, why do you need that? Don't get me wrong, I like on my Apple Watch that it'll tell me how many miles I put in, how many steps I've taken, how many calories I've lost.
But you don't want it to sense your vitals?
No! What the fuck do I need that for?
I think that's cool.
You like that it senses your heart rate and shit? I just don't like that it tells you to stand up because then I feel like an asshole. Every 3 hours I'm playing a video game, it's gonna say, or not even 3 hours. Maybe it is 3 hours and I'm just feeling that it tells you stand up. I'm like, fuck you, man. I want to sit here and play my video games.
I like that my watch tells me when to breathe. Like, I know when I'm, like, super stressed or when I'm just, like, really tired. I can even feel, like, my O2 sat down and my watch, like, bings at me to breathe. I'm like, holy shit, how did it know that I was, like...
Stressing it.
Yeah.
Dang. Would you ever have that? Apple Watch or some type of smartwatch? It's convenient. I will say that. I like my AirPods. I feel like that was more necessary technology than my Apple Watch. No? I really like the AirPods a lot better.
I do, too.
The Apple Watch is good though when you're working and you bing. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I struggled for a long time to even just get a smartphone.
I miss the flip phone days.
I started that way. I had a flip phone for a really long time, and everybody had smartphones. I was like, I don't really want one. And when I got my first smartphone, it didn't have internet on it. I was like, no, I don't really want to do that. And then I went off the deep end, and now it's just
Can't
like...
go back. Could you go back to a flip phone, do you think? I don't think I could either.
I could not have Google at my fingertips.
Yeah.
I'd probably be the hardest for me.
YouTube. I need my YouTube. You know what's scary, and I keep seeing this, and it's more and more, is kids, like you're watching a family eat. You know, we work in restaurants. I watch a family eat. I know I do. Or I like to walk around the restaurant and see how people interact. And you have a family with a young child and a couple young kids there, mom and dad, and the kids are watching Peppa Pig or whatever the fuck it is, that bald fuck, that cartoon. What's that guy? The bald cartoon guy? Caillou. Everyone's making fun of that fuck. That they're watching that shit and they're just boom. Kids getting fussy. Hold on, where's the fucking motherfuckers? Shut up. That's nuts. And yeah, the kid laser focused in.
Oh, well, see, I had a Game Boy growing up.
But we went outside because I
Yeah.
had a Game Boy too. Yeah. You know, everybody that in the neighborhood, if you wanted to play, you met at the electrical box or the mailbox because somewhere you could put your drink, your Capri Sun, your Kool-Aid pack, whatever,
Gatorade,
whatever the garbage drink you were drinking, you put right there. Probably gave you nut cancer or something standing next to the electrical box, but that's where you met.
Everybody's sterile.
Everybody in that neighborhood's sterile now. And you only knew, like, it's true, those memes that's like, you always knew where the party was at because everyone's bikes parked out front. Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't see that anymore. You don't see kids out in the street playing as much as you used to. I remember, car! Yeah. Get on the fucking street.
Now, do you think that's due to electronics or overprotective parents?
Both.
You think fucking overprotective parents got their kids electronics so they would stay in the house?
I was listening to a conversation about that. That it was these helicopter parents were brought on from like I think it was the 80s when kids were getting abducted left and fucking right. And it was like, it was common practice, or like not common practice, but it was like genuine fear that people had that kids were getting abducted. But in the 90s, I would say, like for my age growing up, my parents were there, but they let us do our thing in the street, you know? Be in before as soon as the street lights come off or come on, get your ass inside. Or if we're not inside, they were out in the lawn chair bullshitting with the neighbors and watching us play. I never went to someone's house. Like, we went to the front yard if my mom and dad can see us from the window. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were not allowed to go to somebody's house unless
like, they knew them for sure.
Yeah. Like they knew the parents.
Right. But these days, no, man. You have these people that are, I'm the cool mom. I give my kids alcohol. If they're gonna do cocaine, I'm gonna buy them the good coke to make sure it's not laced with anything.
That's a thing.
I heard that in college. I swear to God.
What?
There was a girl that I knew that her mom bought her coke because she didn't want to get her any stepped on shit. Yep.
What?
Her mom bought her coke. She's like, well, if my daughter's gonna do cocaine, I'm gonna get it for her because I want her to get good stuff. To me, it's like, oh, then mom's doing some blow too.
Yeah. Well, that's
like you've normalized that. You know what I mean?
Was that girl smart? She paid her way to college. Huh?
She paid her way. She showed up in a BMW the first day of school.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That checks out.
So.
Sorry. Because, like, that... Cocaine's a fucking rich man's drug.
It's not my type of thing, but that's what you want to do.
I was never a fan.
No.
I wasn't, dude. It's only 15-minute high for... You just spent $40 for 15 minutes of your life.
Is that what it is? It's like a 15-minute rush.
Yeah. So you know, like.
So why is it?
It's like $40 a gram, right?
Uh-huh.
That gram's gonna last you maybe an hour, depending on how many people there. Like if it's like you and like 2 other people, that's gonna last you like 30 minutes. So your high is gonna last you like maybe an hour tops.
So why is in the restaurant business that a lot of cooks and people in restaurants do coke? Just keep them awake?
You're going, dude.
Yeah.
Well, because you gotta think, a lot of them drink. They're fucking huge alcoholics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So doing cocaine's gonna level them out.
Ah, that makes sense. Like, did you ever watch that movie with me with Denzel Washington? You didn't watch that? Shit. Have you seen that one? Where he's the pilot?
Oh,
No.
I have seen it.
That's a good ass movie.
I haven't seen
What's it
it.
called? Flight. Yeah, Flight. Watch that shit. That's a good one.
But yeah, so that's
That makes sense.
that's why they do coke. But
Yeah.
you know, they also do a lot of other shit.
Okay, so
But like that's just one of the very prominent ones because it's, for one, it's easy just to go and fucking get a key and just and go back to work. Like
thank you.
it's
I just go get a Red Bull. I feel like that lasts a lot longer for me, at least.
yeah, but they're fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I
Like
guess.
a Red Bull's not gonna sober you up, right?
Right.
Or at least make you feel
Superman.
aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
You know, like give you your single vision back. Because you got to think, like, a lot of people in the restaurant business, like, as soon as they wake up, they're fucking drinking
Shit.
to get rid of their hangover, so they can go function the rest of the day.
Ugh.
And then they're taking a bump right before they go to work with their fucking cup of coffee or their fucking Red Bull, and then going in.
Do you think that's prominent in nurses? Abuse? Drug abuse?
Don't you guys get randomly drug tested?
We don't. So I don't know. I feel like it could be. I feel like it's not common.
Oh,
But
shit.
if it
Fuck
does get to a point where somebody's abusing, it becomes pretty evident. It doesn't happen for long.
I feel like Adderall would be a bigger one.
Popping pills?
I feel like, yeah, popping pills would be more common. Like, people would pop, like, opiates, if anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Opiates? Taking downers?
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty common one.
To relieve the stress or what?
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it in my career, so it's kind of hard to tell you. But, I mean, drugs are so regulated, too, there, that it's...
Yeah, I feel like it'd be hard. It'd be hard to be like,
I mean, in order to
let me
take
sneak a
out...
Vicodin real quick.
Yeah, in order to take out medication, like, you are fingerprint scanned in,
But
and you have another nurse with you, and they have to witness fingerprint.
so let's say
scanning.
this. Let's say this. Let's say I'm a addict.
It's not hard to go buy prescription pills from somebody.
Okay, but I'm saying in a nursing field. I'm playing devil's advocate, or what's it called? Just hypothetical speaking here. I'm a nurse that does it. I pop pills. Okay, I tell you, yo, shut the fuck up. Don't do this or don't talk about it. Whatever. These are for patient dickhead right here. We're gonna get him to Xannies. Fingerprint scan.
Well, and then that's what I'm telling you. If stuff like that does happen, I know what you're getting at. And then they take the pills for themselves, and they're like, "Oh, I give it to the patient."
I give this dickhead melatonin instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chill out. I'm gonna get the good stuff. You get the Walmart generic brand.
But that's why I was also saying, like, you could go buy prescription pills on the street. Like, dude, when I was younger, I could have fucking got benzos, amphetamines, or opiates, like, no fucking problem.
Uh-huh.
And it was like $2 a pill tops.
I remember in college.
I know what you're saying, though.
So how do you do that? Yeah.
Is that...
How do you prevent that?
So the hospital is really good about keeping track over patients and their responses over time. You're being watched all the time. So if your patient, you're giving them pain pills and they're constantly in pain, they see a trend with that. Your patients are always in pain. Your patients always report. And, you know, we do patient surveys for everybody. How well was your pain treated? You know, this, that, and
Oh,
the
you
other.
put a 6? 2.
Yeah. So it's just like you kind of... It's tracked over time for a long time.
But, okay, so someone comes around behind you and validates. Like, you said 6? Yeah, she put 6. You know what I mean?
Not even that. It's just
So
like,
then what's the preventing from him saying a 6? Oh, this motherfucker. 2. He's good now.
I mean, there's nothing preventing that, but it's tracked
Right.
because of
But-
patient surveys. Because there are other nurses, like your
Oh, okay,
your
yeah.
charge nurse goes around and they'll ask the patients like, "Oh, are you in pain?" and stuff like that, and it's just so I don't know. And you have to scan the patient and scan a medication whenever you give it to them. So you have to be in the room with the patient
Yeah.
at the very least scanning medications. So like you have to have that pain medication at the bedside with the patient.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to in order to give it. So it's like you can either I don't know how you would get past that, I suppose.
Wow.
So you could scan it and like, oh, they're getting 2 Norcos or whatever it is and just scan them both and then I mean if you wanted to take one but give them one, but of course they're still going to have pain.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword. And like I said, it can go on, but it doesn't go on for long. They're usually caught pretty quickly.
Damn. There was what's it called? There was a nurse, a story I heard. I don't know if I told you this. I think it was I don't remember where it was. The girl she had a patient, okay? So let's say I'm a nurse, you're my, patient, and you're going downhill, it's looking real rough, okay? I work tomorrow, but I'm off in half an hour, okay? She would give this dickhead something to kill his ass, to kill him, because if I don't want to come in tomorrow and have to tell the family that he died, I'm gonna dump it on the next dickhead. That they looked into her and she admitted to 13 murders.
Angel of Death?
No, this was recent.
Really?
This is recent. And
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I don't know if it was
that.
China, if it was here or what, but she admitted 13 or 30, and they looked into it and it was a substantially larger amount.
Mm.
Just because, like, I don't want to really tell your family that he passed. Yeah, she's clocking in next die, motherfucker. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you're dying today, and I'm clocking out later. It's somebody else's fucking problem.
You're clocking out too.
You're clocking out with me.
It's scary
Oh,
though,
shit.
because there are quite a few cases of that. They call them like angels of death.
Is that what
in
it
the
is?
Hospital. Yeah.
But why?
So it's just everybody's. It's hard to say somebody's motive, but a big motive is just like
Paperwork.
people playing God. No, people
Fuck
playing
that.
God. You shouldn't be living like this. Like I don't care that you're wanting to try and fight this cancer. Like it's spread through your body. Like you should die. And people will do that. They would
Shit.
choose what patients could live and what
That's
patients
fucking
would die.
awful.
It's terrifying. Anybody could do it. That's the most terrifying part. Medical professionals are one of the most trusted staff in the entire world.
Well, yeah.
Like how often do you distrust your doctor or distrust your nurse unless they're like openly stupid? Like I could give you anything. Like it's like absolutely terrifying to say. I could give somebody absolutely anything through their IV. They'd have no idea.
That's nuts.
They'd have no idea. Oh, this is just saline. It's like if there are people in the profession too that don't have morals, and that's terrifying.
You'd say
If you're not
that?
a
You would
good
agree to that?
person, yeah.
Wow.
If they're not a good person, your life could be in serious danger. That's why it's like so important. That's why nursing has so many classes on
Well, yeah.
morality and beneficence and non-maleficence and all that. It's the judgments.
Yeah, sorry. So I was just thinking about, what we were talking about just previously about, substance abuse with
Mhm.
nurses. Like, can you guys go to methadone clinics?
Yeah, so actually is a beautiful part of nursing, it's kind of widely understood that medical professionals are under high amounts of stress. So if you, let's not even go, if you are abusing drugs, you have the option to go to your director or your hospital, head honcho. I have an addiction problem. I'd like to take a leave, go to rehab. The hospital will
Pay
take
for
care
it,
of all of
yeah.
it. You won't get, your license won't be fucked up. You just have to
Admit it. Come up first.
own up to it, yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, but what if you go to a methadone clinic while practicing?
You can't practice while you do it.
Okay, that's why I was asking because those are abundant.
Mm-hmm.
It's and readily available to just walk in and be like, I have a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and be prescribed methadone or Suboxone, and just be getting tore up from the floor up. Methadone is by far one of the worst opiates out there, especially on like its addictive properties.
Methadone is interesting in that it is very addictive, but it's also what you use to break addiction from other opiates.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
Or
you're
heroin.
replacing one addiction for another, but it's just controlled at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's what you're less. I understand you're less likely to OD on it because of the control and the restraints on it,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't slam it, and that's normally where ODs occur, is from people slamming it into a vein.
Mm-hmm.
But like that, I'm just, that's why I wanted to ask, because
You can't just go. I mean, if you could, I suppose, just go to the clinic.
But
But
it-
if you don't inform the hospital about it, like, you would get in trouble just as if you were
yeah, that
abusing.
does that populate to the system?
What do you mean?
Like if you go to a clinic and you try to get methadone, and
Kind of depends.
does that red flag anything?
Should.
It depends. I mean, if you're using your insurance, then yeah. If you're just going in there and paying cash or whatever, it's not. It's like
It's
just
not
because.
traceable.
No, yeah, not all medical records are integrated. I mean, we're trying to get to that point where all medical records are integrated, but computerized medical records are actually a fairly new thing.
Really?
Like, they're actually.
That's scary.
They're a very new thing. It's pretty crazy. Our hospital didn't start switching over to computer charting, computer documentation until I was a student.
Holy shit.
Like, it's recent, within the past couple of years, and still yet, we're not integrated with other hospitals. Lots of hospitals are not integrated with each other.
Don't eat a shirt.
Yeah,
Don't eat my shirt.
because that's also with the thing of people going from hospital to hospital trying to get prescriptions for opiates and things for their abuse. Like, I hate to say, like, I knew people in the past that would do it
Mm-hmm.
so they could sell it.
Really? Go to it and just turn around and sling it?
Oh yeah, dude, you get a fucking script for 100 pills of OxyContin. Dude, you could sell OxyContin back in the day for $25 to $50 a pill if it was the real stuff. Because OxyContin, you used to be able to slam, like, you could slam it, which is a mind blowing thing. They had recently just changed the formula on it, so you can't, like, within the last.
It's innate
It's
if you
like-
if you do it or what?
It's like 4 or 5 years. It'll clog.
You just fucking die instead.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe what's it called?
Like or
Clots. It like
Crystallizes.
yeah,
it won't.
That makes sense. It won't liquefy.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of crazy shit going on, man. A lot of crazy shit.
Always crazy shit, man.
Just, gotta hold on for the ride then. Hold on for it and fight what you can, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's call it a podcast. Solid time, you guys.
Alright.
Anything to add? Anything to sign off with?
Mm-mm.
No?
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe. Don't start. Get your fucking straws in while you can. Your plastic straws. Hit up Costco. Hit up Smart and Final. Get your straws
Buy in
while you
bulk.
can. Buy in bulk.
Amazon.
Amazon, whatever
Prime
the hell
2-day
you gotta
shipping for the
do.
straws.
Shh, fuck these paper straws, man.
Get those bendy ones though.
Yeah, right. Then they're gonna start searching your vehicle for bendy straws.
Oh shit.
Shit. Here we go. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in for another podcast, episode 7, episode 8 coming. Hopefully, remember that's episode 8 next time. Hope I remember at least. All right. Thanks for tuning in. As always, cheers. Have a good one. Salud, you guys. No?
I'm gonna
All
do
right,
that's
well,
bad luck.
we're out. Thanks, you guys. Laters. Bye.